So within the Acumatica Manufacturing Edition, there's a product called Estimating, a module. And within the estimating module, you can set up estimate preferences. You can set up different estimate classes with that. And then once you've done that, then you can come in and create an estimate. Now, the key to estimating is that you can have an item that is not an inventory. So you'll see that there's a checkbox or a check mark here within the non-inventory that tells me that this is not in my inventory file. Now the next one here, you'll notice the checkbox disappears, so my XYZ test description item is already in inventory. Now you can do estimates as simply as you like or as detailed as you like. So by that I mean these numbers here are being rolled up from a bill of material operations and materials and tools and any other overhead costs that are associated. But you could actually just come in and override this and do a very simple, quick estimate by saying this is $100 worth of fixed labor and this is going to be $200 worth of material, and you're going to get a total of your cost that is being combined, rolled up, and just overridden of $319. If I take these off and I let everything roll this up, then I'm going to do this by operation number. Now on top of this, you can have these set to different item classes within Acumatica. You can have them set to different warehouses. You can have a different owner and somebody that's doing the actual estimate, which is the engineer. Then you can set default lead times as well. Within the estimating header, there's 5 tabs. So within the operations, which we'll go into in a minute, these are where I'm going to roll all the costs and the product up. Within the references tab, the estimate module actually ties into the customer management and opportunity screen. It also ties into the sales order screen as well. You can also set up an image if you like. You can bring in an image and see that. A description if you need an extended description other than what you can fit on the item description screen. And then a history of anything that has been changed on this particular estimate. So the key factors here are the date, the timestamp, and who actually made that revision. The Totals tab allows me to have different markups based on my cost buckets here. So I can have a different markup for labor, machine, material cost, tool markup, overhead markups, and then I will get an overall markup percentage based on that. It is multi-currency as well. And then the unit cost, which came from our rolled up cost here, and then the unit price and the total price based on our overall markup percentage. Now when I go into the operation itself, this is going to be how I roll all my costs up. Again, I can do overrides as well here if I want to do this very fast and very quick. But what I've set up here is the first operation and Work Center 10. I can set up different setup time. I can have different run time by different run rates. So I could have this one set for 10 for an hour, but I could set it for 10 units per every 30 minutes. Same thing with machine time and machine units. Now down below, I've got 3 different tabs. So these are the materials that I need at this specific operation. Now you could have all of your materials on one particular operation, or you can time phase them and introduce those materials at different operations in the process. You can also have non-inventoried items on your materials. So over here in the far right, I have a non-inventory box. So I have my first 2 materials are not in my inventory, so I need to go out and get a quote for my unit cost from a vendor. Now the last one happens to be an inventoried item, and it's going to pull in the cost based on the last standard or average cost of how you specified that. Within the tools, you can actually cost tools as well. So in this particular case, I want to cost this voltage meter. I need 1 of those, and each time I use it, I want to add an additional cost of $10. Same thing with overheads. I can set up multiple overheads within here. We do a variety of different overheads. So if I actually click on this, it takes me to the overhead file. And we can actually set up either fixed or different types of variable by labor cost, by material cost, machine hours, quantities, and total quantities. And then we can give that a cost rate, and then everything rolls back into GL. Now the cost rate is multiplied by this factor, so we have a lot of flexibility in detailing your costs as finely as you like. Now, once you have gone out and you've won the estimate, now you may have the chance to where the customer sees the estimate and says, yes, that looks good, but I want to make a change. We do have the capability to make revisions to this particular estimate, so you can see those revision history throughout. Once you've won the business from the customer, you have the capability to come in and create inventory. So now, instead of me going back and rekeying all of these non-inventory items, there's a process screen that allows me to automatically update inventory and create those items. Some of the other things that you can do within the estimates, you can copy different estimates. So you can copy either estimates, you can copy production orders that were actually done as a starting point, or you can create from existing bill of material. So it's a very quick way of creating a starting point for your estimate, and then you just go in and modify that. You can archive these revisions as well. So if you do need to change a revision, you can archive it and it creates the next revision in line. And then you have the capability to view the quote that you have and print that out. There's some other things that are grayed out. You can actually create a bill of material directly from this estimate. You can also create a production order directly from this estimate. So if this is truly a one-off estimate that you're never going to do, you don't want to maintain a bill of material for it, you have the capability to create a production order directly from this estimate and then go produce that product. You can also view orders, and you can add this to a sales order. I mentioned you've got a quote that you can actually print, and you can print a summary out as well. And so that's really what the Acumatica Manufacturing Edition's estimating module does.
If you care for a deeper dive demonstration based on your own organization's functionality and requirements, please reach out to your local Acumatica reseller or contact the number you're seeing up on your screen, or via info@acumatica.com.